Let's make some sweet and sour pork. This would be a dish that I choose when I go out to a Chinese restaurant or for a takeaway, but let's do fakeaway night. It's always cheaper and quicker to make it at home. So you'll be surprised at how easy this one is. Vegetable wise, choose whatever vegetables you want. I always do yellow and red bell peppers, some red onion, and I'll throw in some green onions at the end. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, tomato paste, ketchup even. You're also going to need 50 grams of honey and pineapple juice. We need 100 mils of pineapple juice. It's up to you whether or not you put in the little chunks of pineapple. Some people do, some people don't. It's kind of like pizza. You're going to need white rice vinegar, 1 tablespoon, and you're going to need about 1.5 teaspoons of corn flour to make a slurry. So we're going to just mix that 1.5 teaspoons of corn flour with a little few drips of water just to make a paste. We'll add it into the sauce. Now we also do need soy sauce. I don't know why I didn't show it here, but we're going to need about a tablespoon of either light or dark soy, whatever you have. Now, pork chops is what I use. I always think pork is the nicest with sweet and sour, and pork chops are cheap. I always have them in my freezer. I let it defrost overnight, and I'm just going to chop them up into little chunks with my kitchen shears. Leave the fat on, it's the best part. And you can just salt these and add in just even like 2 teaspoons of corn flour, shake it around, get it nice and coated. This is going to go into the air fryer to crisp up. We're going to preheat our air fryer, throw it up to the max heat, spray it with oil, preheat it for a few minutes. And when these are then shaken up in that corn flour and they go into the air fryer, they're literally just going to need 10 minutes in that air fryer up on max heat. We want to crisp them, but we don't want them to be like really overcooked and dry. So literally 10 minutes on max heat is all these are going to need. Just separate them out in the air fryer, make sure nothing is overlapping. And this is going to be a big enough portion to feed 2 people or 1 person with leftovers for the next day. So while the pork is in the air fryer, let's do our sweet and sour sauce. Low to medium heat, and into your pan goes your 100 ml of pineapple juice, your 50 grams of honey, your 2 tablespoons, I use tomato puree, you can use ketchup or tomato paste, your tablespoon of white rice vinegar, and your slurry. So that's 1.5 teaspoons of corn flour with a few drips of water. I tend to mix that in when the sauce is coming up to a bubble. Now I had totally forgotten at this point, which I should have added in by now, my 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. So you go ahead and get that in there, light soy, dark soy, whatever you have. I will remember eventually, but just, yeah, give it a stir. Veggies in. I like them chunky in a sweet and sour, but dealer's choice if you want to make them nice and small and julienne, go ahead. I remember my soy sauce. There we go. There she is. 1 tablespoon of light soy is what I used. And then my green onions. Give that all a stir, bring it up to a bit of a bubble. And by now my air fryer has beeped. So my pork should be nice and crispy. There she is. Now, throw that in on top. We don't need to cook the pork anymore. We just need to get it nice and coated in that sweet and sour sauce, and taste the sweet and sour sauce as you go. You know, you can add a bit of brown sugar if you're finding it's, you know, too bitter. You can go the opposite. You can really adjust it as you go. Now, I like to have this with rice. You can have it with chips, you can have it with mash, you can do whatever you like, but basmati rice would be my choice. And again, you don't have to have it with pork. You can do it with chicken, you can do it with duck, you can do it with any meat that you like, but pork would be my choice. So there it is, super easy, sweet and sour pork. I hope you give it a try. I hope you like it.